Our next speaker is Charlotte Valeur. Charlotte, amongst her many other roles, is the chair of the Institute of Directors. She also has founded a couple of organisations. She also sits as an NED on a FTSE 250 company and other companies, and she's also representative on the representative board for government organisations, the LSE, Primary Market Group, and she's a member of the Hampton Alexander Review sort of group. So Charlotte, the floor is yours. And while Charlotte comes up, remember that we're going to have the table topics, and you've already got loads of information from Peter to be sharing. Charlotte, the floor is yours. Thank you so much.
It's great to be here today and have all of you. Great to be Peter. It's very interesting. There's so many areas that we aligned in, so it's really good to hear. Just some of the things that you said, I thought maybe just quickly comment on from some of my own experiences, like it was scary. Just a couple of months ago, I was interviewing for another chair position of a state entity in the country, and apparently I was on top of the list. So I came in for the interview and I thought it went okay, and afterwards I didn't get it. And I was like, okay, so what did I do wrong? What were the things that didn't fit? And they said, you scared the life out of the board members. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? I was like, okay, that's slightly on professional comment. What else was there? And he said, oh, I have to look at my notes. There was nothing else. There was nothing else than that fact that I scared him. And I just thought, that's just weird. I mean, am I scary? I just thought about this and like, how scary am I? How bad can it ever go? The whole fitting in my sort of current motto is hire someone who doesn't fit in. That's the only way you get challenged. That's the only way you have a chance of finding someone who has knowledge that you haven't got and you can therefore learn. And you must always assume that the person in front of you knows something that you don't know. It's just a fact. It's always, no matter who you have in front of you, that person will know something that you don't know. So not fitting in is pretty key. Around the whole targets, for the organizations I'm serving on board of, there will be diversity targets, there will be KPIs, will be pay gaps, ethnicity gaps, same for the IoD. Last year we had a long discussion of whether we should publish our ethnicity gap. We published our pay gap. And I was like, now there's this gap, and people, it doesn't look so good. I said, well, if it doesn't look good, it's because we have been okay with making it not look good, and not been on top of that, exactly to your point. So if we have one that doesn't look good, we put it out there, and then we talk about how we're going to make it look good, and then we apologize for not having done that earlier. And people, so anyway, this year, for last year, I said, well, I'll let it go this year, but next year it's there. It's going to be there, and we'll have the conversations no matter what it looks like. And I think that's very, very important, trying to have that. And the whole people on planet discussion, so we had, that was the triple bottom line, PPPs, it was actually recalled last year, people, planet, profit. And it's recalled because it doesn't fit anymore. What we're looking for now is people, planet, prosperity. And the prosperity is for the people and the planet. And the profit becomes second. Give us another 5 to 10 years and profit is going to be like a poo-poo word, like nobody needs to mention that. It's about the impact we have, it's about how we create prosperity. And that was just a few of them. The 15-hour week, well, Sweden is actually having 25-hour week, so it is being pushed in places and in countries. We just need to try to do that more. I used to work at Stock Exchange Trader in Denmark, and then in the city in the 90s. And that was about how many hours could you be there, and if you had to leave early, you left your coat on the chair. You were still there. And then I happened to be promoted in deal room to 300 people, 299 men and me. And then so you get to that's what I sort of grown up in. And of course when I then got promoted, it was because I was sleeping with the boss. There was no other reason. It was not because I actually did a good job. No. She's most definitely sleeping with the boss because that's how you get promoted when you're a woman. That was the happy 80s. And 90s, things has maybe changed a bit, but I'm not entirely sure. So these are the kind of things the leaders today needs to be looking at and needs to consider. That's what we expect people to have a holistic view of the world, professionally and personally. Relentless pace of work requiring continued adaptation and flexibility. How do we actually work around that? Develop vertical leadership maturity, which is what I'm going to talk about today. Because I've been banging around in diversity and inclusion for about 15 years. I'm tired, I'm very tired. And so are all the other people who've been doing this for that long, and we haven't seen enough progress. Never mind gender, but talk ethnicity and all the other differences that people can have and bring to the table, neurodiversity, is just not moving enough. So I've been doing a lot of thinking, because what was that, a year ago I had a meeting around the Alison Rose Review for female entrepreneurs. And with this group of women around the table, Pina Morrissey, the woman whose name I've forgotten who did the White Company, so a group of women that they sort of draw on for this. And we were all looking really tired. It's like, I don't know about you, but I'm just feeling like this is not working. This is like, we've done everything we could for over a decade. We've mentored, we've supported, we've given awareness. We've done so much, and still, we just don't get this diversity. It's just like a small group of people, and you're either in or you're out, and most people are out. It's not just about men and women, it's also about a different kind of men, right? It's like, how do we open this up so that we benefit from a much broader group? And I kept thinking, because what will happen just with gender, for example, is that the more tired this group of women that they draw on will be, the more likely it is that they say, just move on, we can't do this anymore. Next. And it's getting to that stage. But we're all sitting looking at each other, looking noticeably 15 years older, thinking, we don't want to be here in another 15 years, and realize that no progress has been made, or not enough. So I'm not saying nothing has been made, we've done okay, it's not enough. As soon as you go below the footsies, for example, just with gender, nothing has happened. Right? You go into private equity, SMEs, nothing has happened. And that just needs to change. So looking into sort of traits around inclusive leaders, I think we need to consider some of these kind of things, awareness of biases, curiosity about others, cultural intelligence, emotional intelligence, all these kind of good things that you were talking about as well, that we know that everyone needs. The opposite of that is that you overpower others, you display favoritism, and you discount alternative views. And we're still seeing a lot of that, unfortunately. So what I'm thinking, okay, something else is in the way. What is that something else? What is it we need to consider to actually move this agenda around? So, I talk about vertical leadership. We've got vertical, we've got horizontal. Horizontal leadership is knowledge. You gather more knowledge, that's the owl, right? Knowledge, 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 knowledge. And it's all about that. But the vertical leadership is something else. Awareness, insight, self-growth, inner growth. It's when you go up that curve here that you actually start becoming more and more aware of the world in a holistic view, in a much bigger picture. And then when you merge the two, you get inclusive leaders. How do we go about that? Now, there's a lot of these kind of things out there, so I've just taken some random companies that are doing work in this. I don't do work in this, but I read a lot about it. So this is leadership maturity framework. How do you mature as a leader when you go around vertically, as opposed to just horizontally? And if you can see this whole side over here is very much unconscious. So we talk about unconscious biases, right? So one, I think it's a bit of a convenient word to use for actually just being passively biased, fully consciously, but anyway, we are working over here.
Passively biased.
Well, I mean, it's right? I mean, I think we've all had it. So over here, we are less conscious about lots of things, pretty much everything, in fact, right? So we are constructing a separate self on an island. I mean, Visa. Everybody thinks that they are separate from the whole. Organization thinks that they grow separate from the whole. In the end of the day, we are all part of one self, right? And if you look at that one piece, it's the earth, it's the people, it's all of us together. What you do today to someone else, you do to part of yourself. And we need to operate at that level where we understand that when we hit someone, we hit part of ourselves. And we are just not there, right? We're just not there. So these are the different stages of leadership maturity. They've sort of said it's sort of from 1 to 6, and there might be a 7th that's emerging. And how do you work up of those levels? And most people work at level 2 to 4. You know, I think maybe Donald Trump is down here. I think. Sorry, I'm so sorry I didn't say that. Everybody has different qualities to bring to the table at different times, right? For certain organizations, if you're in a specific situation, maybe a really tough turnaround or restructuring, maybe you do need people that are just very driven and can cut through and don't get too involved with the people that you have to actually recycle, whatever you want to call it. And then as you move up, what I have seen, I've done a lot of work with younger people. I have under 25 mentors myself, so I have 18 to 25-year-olds mentoring me in how they live, what they've done in the last 6 years. And they mentor me for a year, we speak once a month. I realized none of them is going to buy a television when they buy their first flat or move into their first house. Do the people making televisions know that? Do the people on the boards of the companies making televisions know that? I think not. I actually think they don't know this. It would be a bit like another blockbuster, so, ooh, nobody wants to go down to the shop and rent a video anymore. Gosh, we're not lost. It would be a bit like that, and big companies are going to go bust because they're not in touch with how it is with younger people. And there's no reason not. There's enough of them that could mentor. If we open the door and said, come in, talk to me once a month for 12 months, and tell me about how you live. Who are your influencers? Who are the influencers of the young people today? Right? I think we saw that a little bit during the election, but we had Stormzy and KSI coming out saying, go vote, right? So my boys, I have 3 teenagers, 16, 18, and 20, and my boys are 18 and 20. They followed KSI. It's a young black man from Manchester, I think. My children are mixed. They're half Ghanaian, half Danish, and my boys identify as black, even though they're actually more than 50% white. I mean, it's they like it's cool to be black, so that's what they are. Excellent. And they followed this KSI. 350,000 followers, about 5 years ago. Today he's got 21 million followers. We have 21 million people watching him on their phone every day. Every day, sometimes many times a day. What politician has that kind of access? None, right? And it didn't become apparent. I think this is nothing I've been banging on about for years. What are we doing as leaders to connect in with these influencers? We're not, because we operate here. We're not seeing the bigger picture that drives it all together. And if we don't reach out, we lose out. So and the next step is the whole leadership journey to wisdom. So wisdom for me is a combination of knowledge and the inner understanding of the world as a big picture where you draw people in. And we need to climb up that ladder to be able to do everything you said. If we don't climb up that ladder, we are not doing anything. And this is my worry. I speak to all these young people, they seem to start, and this is, we look at Maslow, and then he's pyramid, it's quite normal. They start at a higher level, because actually they haven't had Second World Wars. My parents was in the Second World War, where I had 5 million concentration camps. They remembered it, so they were sort of still quite focused on, let's get the basics right. And the Western world did that after the last, for my generation and all, but the next generation didn't have to do that in the same way. So they can, from an earlier stage, focus on the more high levels of self-questioning, self-actualizing, and actually go into that sphere that sits up here and brings in the blues. And the thing with this is, only 15 to 20% of the population does that. And the rest of us are down here. So it's not about so up and down, but it kind of is, because if we're going to move in to the prosperity, to the inclusiveness, to actually understanding why it's so important, we have got to develop our leadership maturity. If we don't do that, nothing will change. So I want to be a bit provocative with that with people, because I actually need people to open their eyes and actually see, do you know what, developing more, as you said, of this framework, that, and this, and all the mechanical things actually doesn't work. If you can't lead from a level where you question yourself, you question, is that right what I'm doing? Should I be doing something else? What do people think about me? You're open to people challenging you. I mean, in a boardroom, if I have directors that doesn't challenge me, I challenge them to why they don't challenge me, right? And we should challenge each other. We should question everything, because it's actually through that we grow. We get more knowledge. I love people who disagree with me, because it's through working through that disagreement that I grow, and hopefully they grow too. And no matter what kind of disagreement you have, you must see it as an opportunity to grow. It's a positive, it's not a negative. And when you turn it around like that, your conversations become something else. And I think that's very, very important to try to hold on to and bring with you. And then there's a different way to say, okay, well, how do we actually work with this? This is just one way a company is doing it, where they move into sort of unlearning leadership. In a sense, we need to unlearn what we used to do something else. So what is it we need to unlearn to achieve a quality of the qualities you were talking about as well that leaders need today? If the quality is patience, then we need to unlearn doing and learn presence, right? You have presence, you can have patience. So these kind of workings that you can do at home, inside, your own office or wherever you are, or with a little group of the people you talk through, allow yourself to be a bit vulnerable. Allow yourself to say, I'm not so good at this, well, I wonder how I can get a bit more over here. Then we can truly embrace diversity and inclusivity. Then we can truly be inclusive, because we listen to people with different opinions. And we not only listen to them, we're curious. We want to have those different opinions because we know it makes us grow, right? That's the kind of leadership we need to move over to, that operates at that much, much higher level. I think we can do this in scale, but we can't do it if we haven't got the first level of awareness. Just come out of the sleep of being at the 1, 2, 3, 4. Come out of that sleep, open eyes and say, ooh, that's something more. And this lasts all life. I mean, lifelong learning. I mean, I think we also say this. But do we actually do it? Do we continue to allow ourselves to be challenged, to continue to learn and to grow? Or do we just sit in our... So the thing is, to move up the staircase, you actually have to be uncomfortable, more uncomfortable staying that you are moving up to the next step. Otherwise, it doesn't happen, right? If you're really comfortable where you are, then go stay there. It's when actually you start feeling there must be something more. You can't kind of force it, and you also can't drop over steps. You have to do one by the other to get up to the next levels. And when we look at boardrooms, so with the younger generation starting at a high level, I think within the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to have generational clashes big time if my generation and up doesn't learn to do more of this. Because then you will have the leaders in their 30s pushing in hard, and actually the way they operate is way more sophisticated than the way we're seeing current senior leaders operate. So if we don't embrace that, we're going to be in trouble. So it's better to start looking at it now and then working our way through some of this, even if it feels a bit painful or a bit uncomfortable, because it does. Inner growth is painful. And moving and actually, well, I've done this for 20 years, but I should have done something else. Not enough that you have to realize, now I'm going to do something else. You also have to own the fact that you can now see that what you did the last 20 years was shit. That's the problem. Excuse my language, I'm sorry. I was a butcher. That's another bias, wasn't it? But actually, yeah. So that whole acknowledgement of just all these differences comes through being open to these different kind of people that comes in front of you and says things that feels really uncomfortable. Or what do they do in schools? They beat it out of the young people. So my children might be slightly provocative in that way. So I probably brought them up in the more Danish sort of free way. You express what you feel and you put it all on the table. And their father, my now ex-husband, unfortunately, he was like, no, you can't do that, because he's British, right? He's born and he's like, in the system, what the teacher says it's always right. I was like, well, that's not right, I'm going to go to the headmaster and say so. Oh my God, you can't do that. Well, I am, anyway. And so some of the headmasters will be like, that's uncomfortable, she's back. But like, when teachers start humiliating students. I'm not having that. You're not going here humiliating. You know, my daughter came and said that the teacher was humiliating one of her classmates. So I said, I'm going to go to school. She said, could you not, Mom? I said, no, I'm going to go to school. And today she said that she would do the same. I went in and said, humiliation, name calling, you know, downputting, undermining, all of that is what your teachers are doing to these young children. I'm not having that. If I hear that again, there'll be a written warning. And I would expect to see something come back. So I think they're so happy I'm leaving next year. Hopefully they learn, right? Hopefully they learn along the way. I'm not challenging them on the old-fashioned ways of slapping kids around. Not on. It's not on. The young people I work with and I speak to, and of course I'm trying to advise with little children, I think they're fantastic, but I mean, they have real insights. They have real insights. They come up with stuff as well, they're on their phone, but they learn on the phone, right? My son at 12 came and said, oh, have you seen that Apple did turn over 2 billion last year? I was like, no, are you looking at Apple's accounts during the night? Or what? So I just happened to come by it. They just see so much and learn so much, and we should not underestimate. We are vastly underestimating these younger generations. It's going to hit us right in our face within the next 5 to 10 years if we don't start pulling ourselves together. Jordan Peterson is one of my favorite influencers. He's late 50s now. He's a professor from Toronto. And I draw a lot on him because he actually influences, especially a lot of young people. Young boys especially, like late teens or 20s, are leaning a lot into Jordan Peterson. And he's a very, very top-rated professor. And he became sort of globally known in the end. Suddenly, because he was saying, I don't like pronouns. I don't want to, having to remember all kind of different new pronouns that are coming out for different kind of people. That's, that's human beings, and that's kind of it. And I'm also like, I have these young people saying to me, why do we have to say he or she? Why do you need to know that I'm a he or she? What does it do? And I was like, well, I kind of need to know. I didn't actually have good reason. And on top of that, as women, why do we have to show whether we are unmarried, married, or divorced, right? Hello? I mean, what's that all about? Well, maybe in the old days it's like, I wonder if this has been or not, or whatever it was, the reason was that we should declare that in Miss, Mrs, and Ms. So I'm in Ms. as a, ooh, you're divorced. It's like, who cares? Who cares? Why do we even have it? So I should just scrap all of that and not have it. Okay, someone's a doctor, maybe you want to put it. Well, why do we have to put Mr. or Mrs. what's it? I mean, why? We could just drop that out. When you say the Jordan Peterson say, you can only find out what you actually believe rather than what you think you believe by watching how you act. And I think I brought that one out because I meet a lot of people that are currently in boards talking a lot about inclusivity and diversity, except that boards isn't showing up. So they continue to talk about it and sit in a group of people like them. So for me, words are good, but it doesn't really count. You need to show what it is. I don't have a picture of the IoD board right now, but actually we have a board that's 50-50 men and women, that's 30% ethnic diversity, 30% national diversity, people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, lawyers, accountants, IT specialists, educational specialists. Exactly, I'm actually pretty proud of that board because it just works. It covers everything there is to cover. And that's what everybody should do. And it's not that difficult. But it is really, really difficult when you are in the unconscious area of maturity. When you sit in that area, it's actually not physically possible for you. It's like you don't have those brain connections. And you can only try to develop them to come further up and understand with your heart why it is we should be doing these kind of things and why being inclusive of people that are different from yourself is so important. Because actually, otherwise your organization might just die. I mean, I think that's where we're going, and I wanted to get below the sort of facts of this, that, and the other to actually the behaviors. If you say something, make sure you show it as well. You can't just talk about it. When some IT company came to me and said, could you help me with diversity and inclusion in this firm, and we are having problems, we keep hiring Asian people really want them, we're setting up Hong Kong, but they only stay for 2 or 3 years. I was like, okay, talk to me about your board and your management team, what does that look like? He was like, well, what do you mean? I said, what kind of people are there? So I said, men, women? She said, men. I said, look, okay, ethnic, British, well, she said all Brits. I said, any Asian people? She was like, no. I said, so you get an Asian person who wants to move on, who's ambitious, who wants to move up the ladder. Do they see that the door is open for them to reach the top? Are there people like them? Have you shown as a company that the door is open and you can go all the way and end up at the top executives? And she was like, no. I said, okay, don't even talk to me about what to do further down if you haven't sorted that piece. Go back to your board and executive management, say to them, this company, my company says that if we don't fix this, and she's like, I don't think I want to do that. We will need to send them a letter. No. Because that's scary. That's scary business. To actually tell the leaders, what are you doing? Nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that. That's the problem, is when we're all scared of actually throwing the naked truth on the table. Jordan Peterson is not scared of that. He's had a lot of stake for that. But he throws the naked truth on the table. Intolerance of others' views is not simply wrong in a world where there's no right or wrong. It's worse. It's a sign of embarrassing, you are embarrassingly unsophisticated or possibly dangerous. I love that. Because actually, when you have strong people are often afraid of strong people. But you know what? Do you even know the damage someone who's weak can do in an organization? In a whole different way you don't even see. It just is like underneath there, undermining everything. The strong person, you can generally see what they do. And actually they're a lot less scary than the weak people, if you think about it. So this is about turning everything upside down and trying to think in different ways. When you have something to say, silence is a lie. I'm completely a part of that, because you need to speak up. If you are one of the lucky people that are actually further developed in terms of being able to see inclusivity, to see what is the right way, you have to try to draw people along with you on that journey. And so on the staircase, if you're on the higher stairs, you can go down and operate because you've been through that stage, so you know where it is. But when you can't go higher than the stage you're at. So if you have a board with a majority of people that is at, say, level 3, and you have a CEO at level 5, that CEO has to come down to level 3. Lowest denominator sets the levels, right? And so therefore you've got to watch the people that's around you in your organizations and how they operate, because the lowest denominator sets the pace. So if you're happy to be seeing that happening, you also have to be happy to say, this organization will not change because we can't, because these people are actually not able to do that. They haven't developed enough to that. So once we can all get more of that awareness, I think we have a chance of actually trying to together, all of us together, just come up that curve, roll and say, no, actually let's try to see what we need to do and challenge each other in an uncomfortable way. Allow each other to be more vulnerable. And I think once we get more leaders, it's all about the leaders will lead the way. That's why we call them leaders, right? It's not about doing that further down. It's actually about leading in that way and then bring people with you. But it's very hard if you have a majority of leaders operating at a level where it's simply not possible for them. And unfortunately, I think that's what we're looking at right now. And that's why we haven't moved enough. And that's what we need to challenge. And this is an uncomfortable message to come up with. And I don't really want it on the front page of the Guardian either. But nevertheless, I think it's something